Hey everyone, let's talk about puppets. Yes, puppets. Hand puppets, sock puppets, marionettes. This is an art form that's been around basically since the Earth was a molten rock, and certainly isn't going away anytime soon. I've never met a single person who didn't like them some good legless talking socks. One could contribute this to the likes of the Muppets, with Sesame Street, The Muppet Show, Fraggle Rock, and a sea of movies that are certainly ranging in quality. The Muppets is definitely what led to my fascination with puppetry, which may well have led to my all-consuming obsession with two little short films known to the internet as Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared originated as a 3.5-minute short created by creatively demented filmmakers Becky Sloan and Joe Pelling.
I'm the funny one, Joe's not the funny one.
Yeah, it's true, I'm not.
It was put onto YouTube in 2011 and has since gained a bit of internet infamy for being not as wholesome as it first appears to be.
That sounds pretty boring.
I use my hair to express myself.
But with that has gathered a massive hardcore of fans, me being one of them. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared follows three friends, this yellow puppet, this bird puppet, and this guy in some kind of fuzzy lobster suit, as they are taught by singing household objects about important topics. The first one being a dead-eyed sketchbook singing to the three friends about the complex subject of creativity. The sketchbook, who, according to Becky and Joe's website, is just named Sketchbook, teaches them all sorts of ways to be creative, but seemingly only in the way that it wants them to. The second someone has an iota of independent thought, this happens.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down.
The second installment, released in January of 2014, involves a character that, according to an interview with Becky Sloan, is named Tony the Talking Clock, singing to them about the importance of time. Though, like Sketchbook, as soon as someone suggests something outside of what he believes, they're stopped.
Maybe time's just a construct of human perception, an illusion created by...
Normally at the expense of this poor yellow guy. This short is what really attracted a ton of fans. Tony the Talking Clock himself has a bit of a following.
Let's go on a journey through all time, a time that's changing all the time, it's time to go to time.
The thing that earns these shorts that degree of infamy are their sort of twist endings. They start out innocent enough, a brightly colored puppet show with adorable animate objects singing upbeat little tunes to them, but for one reason or another, this happens. Whether this has some deep meaning, mocking views that are deeply wrong with society or what have you, or just a hilarious twist ending wanting to play with your expectations is something occasionally debated by fans. And it's a legit query. Do these shorts mean something? Are Sketchbook and Tony meant to represent a group of people that are trying to have others conform to their views? Or do they represent some teachers not trying to educate children, but rather keep them quiet and in line? This is an issue with our education system that is very real. Or maybe these talking objects are just two people that are just kind of jerks and this only applies to them. That's the thing, it could go either way. Maybe these shorts have a deep, deep meaning or moral, or maybe they mean nothing and they're just silly, creepy fun. And maybe the creators want you to think that they mean something when they mean nothing, because they're weird like that, I don't know. One thing that I do know means something or nothing, these shorts are creative as all heck. Both of them use an array of animation and puppetry techniques. For example, while the yellow guy and the bird are both hand puppets, the yellow guy has rods to move his arms while the bird has real hands. Both Sketchbook and Tony have pieces of elastic for mouths being pulled on by transparent thread, and that's how they're puppeteered. Though for some shots, Tony's mouth was added on later, made obvious by these production photos, allowing it to move faster and sync up better to the music, as well as make him easier to puppeteer.
It's just a boring old orange.
Maybe to you, but not to me. I see a silly face.
The animation in these films is really quite amazing. The first video had flash animation used on the orange and the clouds, as well as deliberately bad CG used for this. The second one used flash stop motion, which is just adorable in some scenes, by the way, and very interesting animation technique used on this apple.
Not over time, and I'm not anymore.
which I believe was accomplished with the same animation method used on Becky and Joe's music video for the song It Feels Like We Only Go Backwards, which involved painting directly onto cells. What really works for me about these videos is that it's creating its own thing. How easy would it have been to just do a straight-up parody of, say, Sesame Street? It's made to look like a children's puppet show, but without directly satirizing any specific one, at least one that I can see. The world these puppets seem to live in is kind of amazing as well. Every single thing is made of fabric. The floor, the fridge, the television, the photos, everything. I cannot imagine how many hours it must have taken to create all this. It gives it this very unique feeling.
What do you mean? We're already clean.
Scrub, scrub, scrub till the water's brown. Time is a ruler to measure.
Onto one of my favorite subjects, voice acting. The acting in these is really well done. All of the characters have distinct voices, are all played in vastly different ways that match the characters' personalities. To my understanding, one actor named Baker Terry does most all of the voices, except for Sketchbook, who is voiced by Becky Sloan.
Now let's all agree to never be creative again.
My dad is a computer.
Maybe time's just a construct of human perception, an illusion created by...
It's 9:30. There's fish everywhere. Fish everywhere.
Now you can see the importance of time. It helps us make pizza. It keeps things in line.
And also some guy named Roy, who I haven't been able to find anything on. Who are you, Roy? But what really works for me about these shorts is its tone. Yes, it starts out happy and light, then takes a sharp right turn into what the hell, but there's just something about the overall tone that, for me at least, doesn't make the twist ending feel horribly out of place. During the lighter portions of the video, there's just something that doesn't feel right, some kind of sense of discomfort that you really can't place your finger on.
Look to me. I see a silly face. Walking along and smiling at me.
Maybe it's because it's so cheerful that something must be wrong. Maybe it's that full 30 seconds of nothing at the beginning. Maybe it's Sketchbook's dead-eyed stare. Tony's got one going on too. But something just doesn't feel quite right. We do get something of a hint that things aren't quite what they seem when this happens. But even before that, the tone just feels slightly off. Something they did that I think was a good choice, and Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared Too, they don't act like the twist is a secret. They know you know it's coming, so they sprinkle bits of creepy and uncomfortable around before the ending. What with the apple, the dad, and Tony's apparent anger issues.
Look at the time. Don't be stupid, friends.
They don't really throw you into the inevitable gore until the last few seconds, and even then it seems to be hinting that it may not even have happened, which adds a whole new level of creepy. Or maybe it did happen. I'm honestly not too sure what's up with this ending. Again, maybe it means something, or maybe Becky and Joe are just kind of screwing with us.
But eventually everyone runs out of time.
But even with that confusing little ending, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared Too, I believe is the superior of the two films. Now don't you dare get me wrong, I adore the first video, I love Sketchbook, I quote it constantly, it's a darn funny and good short.
Green is not a creative color.
But Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared Too came out more than 2 years later, and a lot of improvement can happen in that time. It was able to up the ante a little, the production values are better, the song goes more in depth with the subject, and well, just look what they're able to do with this one.
A time that's changing all the time, it's time to go to time.
Time was old, like a Victorian time.
Artists are always learning and improving, even when they're great, somehow they always get better. And I think Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is definitely a good example of that. This is great, and yet somehow it got better. For example, Yellow Guy and Bird Guy's puppets were remade, they now have more defined features and more expressive faces, as well as being more solid. Tony the Talking Clock, while simple, is a beautiful puppet. He's very sturdy looking and very smoothly sewn together, and magnificently puppeteered for something that, judging from the production photos, took 2 or 3 people to operate at a time. He's a bit more of an expressive character than Sketchbook, which is kind of hilarious seeing the puppet's teacher get like this after the delightfully calm passive-aggressiveness of the first one. From what I heard, these shorts were just kind of side projects between Becky and Joe's other work. I find it so wonderful that people have latched onto it the way that they did. That people can love an artist's own untouched original creation like this. No, it's not for everybody. I don't think it's really supposed to be either, but it does strike a chord with a large number of people, and for very good reasons. They're creative, they're funny, they look beautiful, even if freaky, and they're just plain fun to watch. I've watched both of these shorts 1,000 times, and I'm sure I'll be watching them 1,000 times again, probably within the next week. At the time I'm recording this, Becky and Joe are currently running a Kickstarter looking for the funds to make more episodes of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. The first two were self-funded projects, which is why they were nearly 3 years apart. They seem to have a ton of ideas and want to be able to get them out in a timely manner, so go help them out. And if you haven't seen these shorts, go watch them. It literally takes less than 10 minutes of your time. And then go donate. Please.
Please help.
Also, if Becky and Joe are watching this, do you mind telling me what the hell is going on with this production photo that it was on your site? Seriously, what's going on? Why is there a broken wine bottle hanging from a tree? Why is Tony pointing at it? Why is the yellow guy's arm broken? What's going on?